Hey guys, today I got a lot to talk about. First of all, I'd like to address my nose. It looks like it went through a meat grinder because of the fact that I was out in the sun too much, but it's gonna look like that for a couple weeks, unfortunately, but it's pretty bad. And I just didn't put any sunscreen on. Usually I take something called astaxanthin, and usually you should take it for about 4 days before you go out in the sun. And it kind of protects you from sunburn, believe it or not. But I had only taken it for like 1 or 2 days, and it wasn't enough in my system to really help me from burning. And I used to take it in Belize, and I would never get sunburn. It was kind of nice to have that astaxanthin, and astaxanthin is really good if you have skin issues. And today I want to talk a little bit about cheap Charlies, tipping, and some other stuff. Just expat stuff in general I'd like to talk about, because there's been a lot of snipping going on. I noticed, like, people snipping and attacking other expats, and sometimes it's par for the course here, but it gets to be a bit much sometimes. But I want to talk about tipping first, okay? Because it was something that somebody addressed in another vlog, and somebody sent me the vlog, and I watched it because they said that they mentioned me. I don't care if they mention me. They also follow my channel. They comment sometimes on Saturday nights. You know, when you're a vlogger, you're fair game. But sometimes people get it wrong, you know? And I understand, you know, there's two different camps in the Philippines of expats. And they're totally different. It's almost like in the United States, we have division. We have our division here too. Don't be fooled and think that when you come to the Philippines, you're leaving all that division back in the US, because expats, they don't leave it there. And I tell people, you know, our group, that's one thing I love about my group, is that we have conservatives, liberals, moderates, all types of people. And they mix in pretty good because we really don't talk politics too much. And when we do, we just kind of slough it off, and we still don't hate each other because of that. But there's another camp here which feels like if you have a different view on the Philippines or the way things work here, that they got to down you and put you down or whatever. I agree with people that you can have your own view. I don't care. You know what I mean? And I have my view, and it's part of life in the Philippines. But this particular person, I'm not going to mention his name. You guys might have already seen it or whatever. And he started talking about me, about tipping. Okay, the fact that I tipped 500 pesos. Okay, I go to TGI Fridays. Sometimes I go with Philippine friends. Sometimes my bill is 6,000 or 7,000 pesos. So it's really high sometimes. It's just the way it is when you go out to dinner here. And then I usually get 20 to 30% off that because of my card. But, you know, back in the United States, if you were to give a tip on that, it would be 20% or 15%, let's say, okay? And for cheap Charlies, they'd probably give 10%, okay? So that would be 6,000 or 7,000. It'd be probably, you know, 600 or 700. And that's being a cheap Charlie. Now over here, okay, if a lot of guys just leave a 30 peso tip, apparently, from this guy. And he says that by over tipping, we're wrecking it for other people that come into these places, okay? And they're gonna expect a 500 peso tip. When you're walking into a higher end restaurant and you're expected to leave a decent tip, you know, and a lot of guys think, well, I'm in the Philippines, you know, if I can pay somebody the same as a Filipino, hell, I'm gonna be cheap Charlie and pay him that. That's why I came here. You know, and I agree with it. I'm okay with that. You don't have to tip the same as me if you don't want to. But a lot of us are living on American budgets, you know, and we don't have to be cheap Charlies. You know, a lot of guys here come here because of the fact that they can live like that. And hey, more power to you. You know what I mean? I totally agree, but it's not going to change things around here. The guy also commented a little bit about one of the other vloggers, okay? And his girlfriend, and how the vlogger changed his girlfriend by kind of helping her out, I guess, and stuff like that. And the girl now expects people to kind of, you know, give her money and throw money at her now because, she lived like that before with this vlogger. And you want to know something? This guy mentioned about somebody giving her, I guess, $200 or $300 or whatever it was through super chats, because she's a vlogger also, I guess. And I was kind of shocked when I saw it, because it almost made it sound like, the guy expected something, like because she got a good tip that, hey, you need to take me to the local hotel or something like that. That's not what these girls are all about, and that's not what we expats should be all about. If you think because you tip somebody or you give somebody a high amount of money that they're supposed to jump in bed with you that night, think again. I don't think most of these girls think like that. Some do. Hey, if that's what you're looking for, that's what you'll find. I think most of the people, when I help them out, a lot of these people are actually friends of mine too. I've come to know these people because a lot of these places that I go to is places where we have expat meetings. We have our expat monthly meeting at some of these places, such as TGI Fridays, such as Texas Roadhouse. Texas Roadhouse is one of my favorites. I know the people in there very well, both up in Mall of Asia and also at the Evia Mall. We got to fly here. And you want to know something? When you have friendships, you're going to take care of those friends. And this guy was kind of commenting, and it kind of troubled me about it. What troubled me about it was this. He's almost telling people that we shouldn't tip these people because we changed the lifestyle around here for these people to expect this. If I can bring people up in this country and help them for their economy to become more like the US, I'm all in. I don't know about you guys, but I'm all in on that. I know where a lot of people here, they want to keep that cheap style of living. In fact, I want to keep it too. But I don't think we're going to put a dent in the economy enough to change it so much, maybe in some areas, that it's going to cost us so much more that we can't even live here anymore. And if it does, you move. You move to a different part of the country, because the Philippines is huge. Dumaguete kind of caused its own problems because of the vloggers there. We have, a lot of people moving in here into Tracy. It hasn't even put a dent in the prices here very much. House prices are pretty much still the same. They're just a little harder to find, It's really a non-event, I think down in Dumaguete, though, so many people have dumped into the area that it has changed things, and it has done things down there. Tipping has changed things down there. Guys down there are on a mission, okay? Dumaguete is more all about the girls down there. And I think the people that come into Tracy and some of the other areas, it's not so much about the girls, it's about settling down and being retired. A lot of guys think that all the retirees are out there, jumping into a bed with a different girl every night. And I think nothing could be further from the truth, to be honest with you. I think a lot of guys over here are looking to be retired and be happy and settle down with somebody. There are those guys that, they come over here to have their last hurrah. More power to them. That's their thing. That's what they want to do. I'm okay. That's their thing. I'm not going to put people down for living out their lifestyle. I live my lifestyle. I live my way, and people live their way. That's the way the world is. We got to kind of respect each other, and that goes in the vlogging community too, I think. I try to stay out of other people's vlogging issues. I see people sometimes talking about me. I'll talk about it a little bit. This one here kind of troubled me because they got it. The guy also commented about me talking about helping people on the way out. And I think it was directed towards me. He didn't say whether that was directed towards me. And I didn't watch the whole thing. I watched part of it, so I didn't get the whole gist of it, because it just kind of, turned me off watching it. I was like, this guy didn't even listen to what I said. I said that if you're with a girl for a long time, you should help her. Or if you took a girl out of a job, you should help her. This guy kind of took it the wrong way and thinks like, why are we gonna, he went off about Geo, and we got a little bit of a storm coming. I don't know if you can see the dark clouds over there or not, but there's a little bit of a rain, I think, coming soon. But anyway, he kind of hit on this other vlogger, and it was kind of stupid what he did. I was kind of like, wow, like kind of shocked at who he was attacking and how he was attacking these people. And I think he got it wrong, and the way he attacked me too. He you know, on the way out, I think we need to take a look at some of these people. I'm not going to throw a girl into the streets. If I took her off a job or something like that, or if I took her out of her house and she moved from, let's say, Mindanao or Panay or some other island, Siargao or wherever it may be, and she moved up with me, I'm not throwing the girl out of the house if I have you know, if I don't get along with her or whatever. I'm not going to throw her out in the streets and say, hey, you're on your own, honey, I'm not giving you any money. Some of these guys will do that. You know, you just don't do that to some people. You know, I think in retrospect, you know, that a lot of guys really need to have to look at themselves over here. We're not going to change the world over here. The guys that do help out people, we're just not going to. A lot of expats do come in here and throw around money at some people. And I disagree at the way some people throw money around here, in that they're throwing money at everybody and they're wrecking some people, okay? And they know that they're wrecking people. They know that they're also destroying other expats around them by buying out these people. I've seen it myself. I've seen it right in my group, you know? I've seen it. And it's terrible to see that sometimes, because these guys don't have a clue what they're doing. You know, but giving people a big tip, giving an ex-girlfriend a way out and a step up, you know, there's nothing wrong with it. Also, the other thing is this. In my view, okay, this is my view. I like reaching down and helping the next expat coming into the country and giving them a leg up, you know, and taking them up to the next level and helping them out, either getting their SRRV, helping them out to understand the way things work here. That's my views, you know. I'm giving them my views from my perspective, what I've learned being in here and what has worked for me. And it has worked for me. It's worked for me very well. But also, you know, if we don't help out other people, and if we just keep putting down people, and a lot of expats here, the newbies, they poke fun of them, you know, because of the mistakes that they're making. And instead of poking fun of them, why don't we just help them? You know, because if everybody helped out everybody over here, we'd be in a better place. And we have vloggers out there that are trash vloggers, and we have people that are out there that help people. And I'm not going to say which one's a which. You guys can pretty much tell which one's a which. You know, but I mean, me, I'll reach down and help the next guy. You know, I don't charge a nickel to help these people. And I see a lot of other expats also doing the same with some people. You know, and anybody that has met me or ran into me knows how much our channel has helped people. Not just helping expats, we've also helped orphanages. We've helped a ton of people here. And I'm not trying to toot my horn, but I'm saying a lot of the guys don't agree with that. They don't agree in helping other people here. They don't agree with helping expats, especially, you know, and these guys are retired people, for God's sakes. They're people that do need help. And yeah, some of them are tough. They're old, they're mean, they're not the nicest people because they're retired, they're old, you know, and they got creaking bones and, you know, snapping vertebra, and, you know, their back's not helping. I understand now why some people can be kind of nasty. I've kind of felt that way in the past 2 months, you know, because of what I'm going through. But I don't let it take me down to that level. You know, but I mean, as people here, as expats, I think we need more to have more affection to people here. I love the people in my group. I truly do. We've had some idiots come into our group. We've had some great people come into our group too. And we try to treat everybody the same. Sometimes we have to have a talk with people, obviously, or sometimes we just let people go. Or they take out, sometimes the trash takes itself out. We've had that happen too. You know, but, and I still treat people the same. I try to treat them the same. Some people I don't, because I don't want to get bitten again. But I will say this, that when you're out there next time and you see an expat and the guy needs help, instead of joking about the guy, get up and go over and help the guy. You see a guy that can't take his trash out in the morning or something like that in your neighborhood, or maybe the guy needs help with something. You know, maybe he needs help with something you know something about. Maybe it's going to the BI. Maybe it's doing something like that. Help out the guy. Don't stomp on him and joke about him and say, oh, look at him, he doesn't even know how to get onto the BI. That's the way some of these guys work. You know, I'll be truthful with you. You know, expats are a strange bunch. You know, I love expats, but I have like a love-hate relationship with some of them. You know, and I'll be honest with you, and when you get over here, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about, that we have a love-hate relationship amongst each other sometimes. And our group, yes and no. You know, our group is pretty good. I would say our dinner group is phenomenal. You know, and I stated this a while back. We have people in our group that sell things or whatever. I'm willing to help them to the next level. I don't care if they're making a lot of money or not now. I want to see them succeed. If all the expats had that same attitude of helping Joe Blow or whoever it may be, to the next level, don't you think we'd all be successful? Am I right? It's true. You know, taking people to the next level, helping out that guy. And, you know, I don't expect nothing from that person, but maybe he will help you when you need help someday. Maybe he'll help you. Maybe he won't. Who cares? You know what? It's all about helping each other, looking out for the low guy and the high guy. You know, because someday you might need help, and maybe that person will step up and help you. Maybe they won't, and don't expect it. You know, it'll surprise you. Maybe it won't. You know, but help out the next guy. Be a different expat out there. Expats are, like I said, they're a funny bunch. We take all our trash from the US and we deliver it over here. And we have a lot of guys over here that think that we're going to contaminate these girls, that somehow they're going to change because of the fact that we're giving them a few pesos, or we helped giving them a leg up, you know, after we broke off with them, that's going to turn that woman into a liberated woman. And all of a sudden somebody's offering them 300 and they expect to get, you know, the girl to go to bed with them or whatever. You know, that's what these people expect sometimes. They expect, if I give this girl a good tip, I'm going to, you know, maybe I can meet her at the hotel after or whatever. You know, I've made friends that are waitresses, fantastic friends. I've helped some of these people and offered help to them because they had become so much like family. I mean, I remember when I was a kid, my father had this lady. Her name was Algis, and Algis was the nicest woman you could ever meet. She was a waitress, and I was a little kid at the time. And my father always treated her good. She was an older woman, a lot older than my dad. And she always brought me toys whenever my dad took me over there. My dad was a single dad, okay? And he took me over there. And my father had kind of a friendship with her. She was a married woman, and he used to go over there, and he went over there one day to clean up some wood that fell in her yard during a big windstorm. And I remember going over there with my dad and the husband and her being so thankful to my dad going over there to help them out and help them get that debris out of the yard. And my father got to take all the wood too. So he benefited and she benefited both. That's what friendship's about, you know? And I wish the world would go back to that. And that was a long time ago when I was a child. I think we as Americans and as Westerners, we've come so far away from that we're almost like contaminated to the rest of the world. People don't even want to look at us anymore. We think like we're the cat's meow out there sometimes because we're Americans. I disagree with that strongly. You know, I still believe that America is a great place. I think America's people are great people, but we've changed. We've changed away from those old-fashioned values that we once had. We've dumped those for new values that are contaminated and dirty and just muddied the waters so bad. And we need to step back and go back to those old-fashioned values that we once had. These new values, you know what I think of those. You know what you can do with them. I just don't see those new values as adding anything to the U.S. I'm sorry, but that's the way I feel. And I know that might tick off people. And I'm not talking about politics. I'm talking about values. And there's a difference there. So for you guys saying that I'm talking politics, I'm not. I'm talking values, okay? I think America's value system has gone down the toilet. Anyway, guys, God bless. Take care. I hope you enjoyed today's show.